So in this podcast, we want to talk about assisted living facilities, building them, and some of the things, the main issues that you would kind of want to address if you're going to start on one of these. Number one, by far, we believe that the correct team, and that includes the architect, the builder, the engineers, and then specifically what that team understands about the health codes for the state you're building in, the fire codes, and how that's going to impact your project, as well as the building codes. These codes are constantly changing in each review and update that they do, and they really impact the cost, the structure, the flow of the building, and how it's all going to work through. So that's a big piece. I think the secondary piece is scope creep. Most people have heard of scope creep, and that's basically that the original scope of a project is how is this project going to be built, and where are the things, what things are we going to do to start and all the way through the finish of the project. But during the project, you discover that there are areas where you need to spend more money, or you want to spend more money so you can do it right. The biggest way to avoid scope creep as much as possible is to make sure that you plan every single thing you can during the beginning stages. That allows you to get true costs as much as you can at that time. Of course, I would put in a little side note here that when you get numbers for your assisted living facility, that's always 18 to 12 months before you get to some of those aspects that you start building. And during that 18 to 12 months, or 12 to 18 months, you will have things like lumber, concrete, roofing, windows have increases. And those increases are not possible to figure out in scope creep. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm really speaking about issues in respect to the flow of the house and having to change major pieces, or the landscaping is going to have a fountain or some major thing that you want to put in, and that those items will drive cost up considerably. So those are two of the big items when you start out with an assisted living facility, and we have many, many more. We could talk for podcast after podcast about the things that you should look for. But start with the right team, start with a great group of people that want to work together all the way through the project. It's not just an architect that designs it and then they walk away. They need to be involved through the whole thing, and that the builder has great communication with.